Okay, Scorpio. So, why did I want to start with the Magician card? I wanted to start with the Magician card because this is the problem. This is why you're perceiving stagnation. Okay, look, I think you're really overthinking things, which is a common kind of quote unquote issue with the Queen of Swords. Okay, there can be too much intellectualizing. Now, you are a highly intellectual sign, Gemini in your natural house, 8th house Gemini, right? You're a highly intellectual sign as it is. But there's a strong separation between church and state, right? Strong separation between your thought and emotion. Right now, it's being pushed into the thought realm rather than the emotional realm, which is Scorpio's superpower, the emotional realm. So when you're utilizing your mind to go through all the options and try to figure out what this quote unquote new deal should be and trying to figure out how this is all going to work and all the pros and cons and the good things and the bad things, and it's going to be too much. So when you don't know how to feel about something and you start intellectualizing it, it kind of puts you in a distressed position, which makes the magician energy or the magician superpower that we all have difficult to use because you can block yourself, right? Because you have to have clear intentions when you're stepping into the role of the magician. You have to be clear. So you're not clear right now, and that's okay. It's important for you to know, and I'm repeating myself from the general reading, that you're not going to have clarity because there's way too much stuff going on in the sky. So you just got to make it through the next few weeks because you're probably going to be changing your mind a lot. If you're really sitting there what do I feel? What's the best choice? How is this the best way? And I really wish my higher self could sit down with me on the couch and have a conversation because I'm having a hard time figuring it out. It just means you need to find stillness in your life. I guarantee you this other person that you're dealing with, they're not going anywhere because they know what you are. They see you because they see them in you. You're connected, okay? You're there. It's okay. You can take this time to think. You can take this time to process. I've discovered something about Scorpios. They do take a long time to process. They take a long time to admit to themselves what they knew the minute that it happened. I'm discovering this quite recently, actually, not only within myself with my Scorpio moon, but with other Scorpios in my life who are Scorpio suns. I'm like, wow, it takes them a minute to use the emotional information, to convert the emotional information into useful information that can then be communicated and conveyed to other people. So take a beat, take a minute. Because of the Sun-Pluto thing, you are really affected. It's not just the eclipses, guys. It's the Sun-Pluto thing too. So there may come a time when you feel really determined, and then a couple days later you feel really depleted. It's astrological. It's not a good idea to use this magician energy if you come into it with well, I'm just gonna take what I can get. That whole take what I can get mentality is so completely opposite from the rest of the reading and everything that we just talked about. So why is this stuff present? Because I don't know that there's been officially a full release yet. There will be, right? A new start is coming. There will be a full release. And it's worth it to hold out for that time when you really feel it. Because you're going to way overthink some stuff, I think, in the beginning. And I know that you are feeling a lot of pressure of making the right decision. I guarantee you will make the right decision, okay? I guarantee it. There should never be any kind of fear of regret moving forward. But there can be a sense of paralysis with this kind of King of Swords. And you may be giving this other person that you're dealing with, this fire or water sign or whatever, you may be giving them like a little bit of a chilly vibe, the way Scorpios can, like a real chilly vibe, real prickly. Because it's kind of like your protective mechanism of like, okay, well, I'm at a 7 of Cups right now. I don't really know what to do and I don't know how to communicate it to you. So I got to kind of like keep you at bay. This person gets it. Believe me, they totally get it. And they get where you're coming from. So I feel like there's a lot of compassion on their part toward you. And a little bit, and vice versa as well. Because you guys might be kind of sitting in the same boat. Especially if you are dealing with another Scorpio. Or an Aries. Or someone with a lot of Mars in their chart. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this World card up here. This is connected with the Chariot reversed over here, okay? It's the stagnation. Initially, maybe already, maybe this happened a few days ago with the Neptune retrograde kind of starting. You know, we've got Mercury making his way into his station position before he starts going backwards. So, you know, maybe this is all like percolating right now. And you may feel like you're at a loss. That's kind of what scares me, is that the perception that you're at a loss is deceiving and it's not real. And it's very important that you don't perceive it that way, because it's opposite. You're actually in the seat of power, not the seat of loss. So you're going to need to utilize your strength. Okay, I actually like this card for a Scorpio because, like I said before, that more majestic quality, it's the Leo energy, the majestic quality that comes through for you. And it is a Scorpio's, again, power to separate themselves from their awareness. Or, I'm sorry, separate their awareness from like their ego. Separate their awareness from their feelings, their awareness from their thoughts. Scorpios who are getting all caught up in the thoughts, just take a breath. Do the meditations, do the calm thing, recognize what is ego-driven and what is not. Maybe a lot of things are ego-driven right now, but that in and of itself is your strength. You do need to find an internal balance before really bringing this new deal to the table. You need to find that structure. Okay, and sometimes structure and balance and all of that can be found through generosity. Okay, and like I said before, with the 9 of Coins, it's about the abundance, the expression of abundance, the expression of gratitude for what you have, and the passion for what you have right now, and the passion for what your life currently is. Because as the creator of that life, you know, you owe yourself that. You owe yourself the gratitude for what you've been able to create, okay? And also gratitude for the assistance of your helpers and guides and the higher intelligence. So to find the internal balance, to not perceive it as a failure, and to just sort of let the shift happen. Tower coming out reversed, came out for one of the other signs I just recently did too, reversed. When it's reversed, it's not this huge, big, crashing down thing. It's kind of a light bulb kind of moment, more closely connected with the Judgment card of just kind of all of a sudden you see the thing that was holding you back this whole time. You see the thing that was the problem initially. Right? You see the problem. And once you see the problem, you stop trying to solve it from within the box of the problem. So how you go about doing all of this, it's going to be uncomfortable for you, which is why I think this Chariot energy is so like the hardest part, because it's the discomfort of getting uncomfortable. The discomfort of not seeing results right away. The discomfort of like putting your tail between your legs and maybe admitting that you were wrong with something or whatever it is. But to have these two energies come out with temperance in between, this is the card of Zen. It's the card of transmutation, connected intrinsically with the Magician as well, as this angel pours from one cup to the other, transmutes one emotion into another. Right? The Magician energy that's like 5 of coins, 7 of cups, confused, not knowing what to think, 10 of swords, transmuting it into something beautiful, into the quality of abundance and gratitude. Suddenly these things just sort of fade away and they're not a problem anymore. It is going to be in your best interest to come to the table as zen as possible, with the attitude that no matter what happens, it is going to be the best possible outcome, and that you will absolutely perceive it that way. The Tower and the Devil. The Tower usually tears down the structure of the Devil. The Devil, you have the number 15, you have the number 16. So whatever the Devil put in stone or put in concrete, the higher forces, right, the lightning, the unpredictable forces, tear it down. So the devil doesn't have a lot of power in this instance at all. You don't have a lot of power in this instance, with the exception of how you see it. Right now, this is kind of a ego versus higher intelligence kind of battle. And while that battle, I don't really want to call it a battle, that makes it sound bad. It's not bad. But while that kind of disagreement is going on, you're going to perceive it as like, this isn't going anywhere, this isn't going anywhere. But what I said before, you're building up the potential energy. And so while you're in that hiatus, please be cognizant of not taking out your frustration on anybody else, because they're going to fight back. They're going to fight back. They're going to spit fire, because we all have the eclipses going on somewhere in our chart. We all have the Sun, Saturn, Sun, Pluto opposition. All right, that's going on for everybody. So everyone's a little testy. Everyone's on edge. So your transmutation powers, it's on you. Now, what I think is going to happen when you present this new deal, I feel so official, right? So like political. When you present this new thing to this person in question, or to these people, what I think your attitude is going to be is almost defeatist. Like, this is never going to work out. Like, how ridiculous that I would ever think to ask this of people. How selfish am I? You're going to be hard on yourself when you ask for that, or when you come back to someone, because maybe something already happened and you're maybe backtracking a little bit. Or maybe you were always afraid to be honest in the first place. I don't know what it was for you individually, but I'm seeing a real humbled quality coming through. The other person might be a little bit like taken aback by like, wow, I can't believe Scorpio is actually asking this. While I don't necessarily think other people are judging you, because they see you. They know what you are. Like, don't forget that you and this other person, you each are the 9 of coins. You both are. You both are sitting in these kind of like real power seats, okay? So the fact that Scorpio is even asking this, it's kind of shocking, but also weirdly, they agree. I feel like they're going to agree. Because these cups, whenever the 5 of cups is reversed, I always see it as being like you turn around finally and look at the 2 of cups, which we have here. You finally look around and say, wow, maybe we can meet in the middle. Maybe we really can do this. Maybe this really is an option. The Hanged Man is also an indication of stagnation and delay and suspension. So once you put it out there, again, that's kind of maybe why, like for some of you, let's say it is an example of like, I love you. and then you might not get it back, right? Don't worry. This person it's percolating. It's all in process. This person needs to like process as much as you do. And like really ask themselves, okay, well, how do I really feel? And maybe on some level, there's a quality of a now or never, or a quality of an ultimatum. We're getting some pretty, big cards. So maybe that's a thing. Some of you kind of laying down the gauntlet and saying it's now or never. But this person is going to need to think about it, and they're going to need to process it. Go back to their advisors, right? Kind of like you're sitting at a conference room table. You're on one side, they're on the other. You bring a proposal. Well, that person can't just decide on the proposal right away. They're going to have to take it back and talk to their board members about it and make sure it's good and kosher and all of that. So that's kind of the delay that I think you're going to see. And that's the kind of delay that's going to drive you a little bit crazy. And you might not get an answer right away. It might not happen right away. It might not be, at the pace that you would like. And that's the time when you might be in danger of spitting fire. Well, I've been talking a lot. I feel like I just barely started this reading. 9 of Coins, peace, cool. That's really the only message I'm going to have for you. Be cool. These guys are sitting down, right? These Scorpio vibes, they're sitting down. They are processing, they're meditating, maybe praying even if you pray. They are really asking the way I think you are really asking, like, what am I really supposed to do? What is the best choice? So don't just think that you're the only one doing that, because you're not. Clearly there's something big on the table here, and it can determine the outcome of people's lives. So have compassion for that. This is unnecessary and avoidable. When you find yourself wanting to be here and starting to second guess, like, oh my God, maybe they don't really love me, maybe they don't care about me, they don't want to marry, they don't want to have business, they don't want to do this, before you spiral, let it get out of control. Do the meditations and just like have faith that it's going to unfold, because when we see the 6 of Wands, here's this person like coming straight for you. Open communication, 10 of Coins. We even have the 10 of Cups. Yes, this 10 of Cups is reversed, but I also think that there's a quality of like with this particular person. Right now, this person is quite guarded with you because, like I said, they don't know how to approach you. They don't know what to say. They don't know what comes next. They don't know what the next steps are. That's why I think, Scorpio, you have to be the one to make the first move, because they're waiting for some kind of an indication of what to do. They don't know if there's a future with you. They don't know if this is like a thing, or they don't know. They honestly just don't know. Now, some of you could be dealing with like an ending of a relationship. And I'm not saying if like this is a relationship that you want, I'm not saying that this person is going to come back into your life and you're going to fall madly in love. But what is going to happen is maybe a sense of closure, maybe a sense of like, okay, now we're on the same page. There's not a lot of conflict. Maybe there is some resolution with certain things and certain issues. There's truth that comes out. And I think there are things that are wanting to be said on both sides, but they are having a hard time crossing that bridge because they don't know what's going to happen once they get over to your side. Is it going to be attack mode, or is it going to be Zen Buddha mode? Like, what is Scorpio going to do? Maybe you are being a little unpredictable right now. I think that's okay. It's warranted, but not everyone knows what's going on in the stars, okay? Communication opens, and I think they're quite enthusiastic about the 10 of Coins, because I think that's what they want. They also want to go from a 9 and a 10. What happens when you get 2 9 of Coins people coming together? Well, you get a 10 of Coins. So, I mean, there's benefit on both sides. If you two were to sit down and do a cost-benefit analysis of like being together or not being together, there's going to be a benefit of being together or making amends, resolving conflicts. Okay. And here you are, making the first move, kind of commanding. Right? The universe has some control, but you also have control too. Weirdly, I think it's a romantic gesture with the Knight of Cups. You wearing your heart on your sleeve a little bit. And that's the thing with this person that I think you're dealing with is I don't necessarily know that you can keep stuff out of this situation. Like, you are raw, you are exposed. This person sees you in the way that you see them. I think Scorpio has met their match, their psychology match, the person that just pierces through to you and you pierce through to them. Like, there's absolutely no veil. And maybe that's disorienting for you because normally you're so good at the separation, but you can't have that with this person. And that's what creates so much value. No pretense whatsoever. No hiding. No nothing. And you just have to deal with it. You just have to allow this person to really see you. So when you initiate contact, initiate communication, you might come through a little bit soft, meaning humbled, meaning cautious, but also real. And if and when you approach this person, you are going to have to tell this person how you really feel. Which is why this card I had to read first, because it's like really deciding what you really feel. But once you understand it and once you know it, you got to do something about it. Because this wheel's not going to turn over, right? It can't turn over unless you're honest. So you have nothing to lose. Like I said, even if this isn't about coming together and building a life and getting married and the whole thing, even if it's not about that, it can be about finding the peace that you need in order to go your own way. So this person here, they are cautious with you, like I said. Maybe they are even walking on eggshells a little bit. There's something here with the Hierophant and the Ten of Cups that suggests a difference in values and a difference in spiritual beliefs, a difference in like the institution. You know what I mean? Like maybe this person doesn't want to get married and you do, or something like that. But for them, because it's reversed, they too could have a perspective change, meaning you could point some stuff out for them. And their perspective on that kind of belief could bend as well. So they are not as hard and fast as you think. They are not as hard and fast as they think. There's room for negotiation, okay? Because I think on some level, they may be over-idealizing, as we often see with the Ten of Cups reversed. They're over-idealizing something, and for whatever reason, they've been protecting this dream or this ideal for a long time, and yet this is a moment when the blindfolds are forced to come off, because that's what the eclipses are going to do. That's what this new moon is going to do. They're forced to see. And maybe what they see is that whatever it is that Scorpio is bringing to the table that's new and different, and they can see that you're willing to bend, they might be willing to bend as well. But I think they're going to need to see you do it first. I do. I think they're going to need to see you do it first. Because they're just not sure where you're at. They're just not sure where you stand. And here, Page of Cups, the communication again. right? The Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. But even though it might be small levels of communication in the beginning, again, I think you're cautious because you're aware of the Mercury retrograde. Don't let that worry you too much. Excuse me, hold on. Excuse me. Don't let that worry you too much. But also you don't need to reveal the whole enchilada right away. I think this Page of Cups is you putting out the feelers. The minute you put out the feelers is the minute this Chariot turns over. See, maybe this Chariot is reversed. The reason why, like, the Devil and the Five of Wands is here, maybe too what that is, in addition to what I already said, is it's not turning over and it feels like such a pain point because you haven't said anything yet. Maybe that's also part of it too. In addition to waiting for them to process and figure it out, it's also like, you know that Chariot's not going to turn over until you say something. So the Ace of Wands, the minute you say the thing is the minute that that new moon energy with the Ace of Wands is the minute that that comes online for you. And then, right, what we have up here, Eight of Coins, is the Judgment. It's almost as though you put it out. That's kind of the magic of the Magician, right? You put it out there via thought and emotion. You take a small action toward the thing, whether it's the Knight of Cups action, right? The expression of the emotion, the expression of the desire, what it is that you want, telling the person, and then you just let it resonate out to the vastness of the universe. You let it go all the way out and you let it come back to you. And in the meantime, you do the Eight of Coins thing, which is just what you do every day. It's your work, it's going to the coffee shop, it's going grocery shopping, it's washing your laundry, right? It's all the kind of regular things. It's not a huge amount of effort on Scorpio's part. It's just enough effort. Just enough effort to nudge that World card into turning over. And in the time of like opening the door and it resonating and then coming back and then all of a sudden things start kind of taking shape, you have epiphanies. That's when clarity comes. The minute you're honest with how you feel, that's when clarity comes. Because this stuff is the planting of the seeds. Queen of Coins knows, the Nine of Coins knows, the Ace of Coins definitely knows, the Magician knows that if you want the plants to grow, you have to plant the seeds. And the Queen of Coins is someone who planted the seeds and begins reaping the benefits. It's no accident that we're getting all these coins and all these cups coming out, right? Cups is the expression of the emotion and the honesty of the emotion, and coins is the actual, like, reaping of the benefits. So there's a direct correlation between the expression of emotion and reaping the benefits. Slow and steady wins the race here. There is no need to push. When you push, you get this. When you feel frustrated, you get this. Relaxed. Relaxed, the way an earth sign can be, like, so relaxed. Like, let's say, like a Taurus, okay, can be relaxed. And honestly, I think what you have is the potential for a connection where there's a lot of generosity between the two of you, right? Between each of you. You're generous with each other. You're caring and loving and abundant toward each other. Like, there's no, like, it's all just reciprocity. Where's that Six of Coins? The reciprocity, because you have been reciprocal with yourself too. You have found the balance within yourself. And I feel like you are finding yourself in a situation with someone who is and will be just as generous as you are. And they're willing to meet you in the middle there. Okay, so I don't know who you're dealing with, and I don't know exactly what situation you're in. It might not be romantic. I just kind of tend to do that just because that's why most people come. But it can be in so many other areas, can be with your child. How amazing to have this kind of a relationship with your child, right? How amazing to have this kind of relationship with your mother or your father. So be open about how this speaks to you. Because you may want to force this into the relationship box, but it may actually pan out in a totally different relationship that you're not expecting. Like I always kind of have this example in the back of my mind where I was watching a whole bunch of readings one month, and it was all about children and children. And she was like, I don't have kids. It doesn't mean anything to me. None of this means anything. And then that month, my cat passed away. So like that cat was my child, right? So it could be kind of something that you're not thinking of. So just be open. And then when we have that whole Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity, it's more about uplifting the people that are close to you in the here and now. And I think you're hard at work on yourself, and you have been for a long time. Your consciousness and your awareness keeps getting higher and higher and higher. And in you stepping into your light, which is why you're here in the first place. And I think this person is also in that same place too. The higher and higher you go, the more quality this relationship is. And the more pure you are, the more quality this relationship is going to be. So I see really great endings, which are in turn new beginnings here. All right? So excellent reading for you, Scorpio. Another Queen of Wands. Okay, got it. Another great reading for you guys. Good luck. Have an amazing season. Okay? Wishing you nothing but the best. Take care. Bye-bye.